A. Now, let's have a look again at the reading activity. So we spoke very briefly about reading at the beginning in terms of the vocabulary, but what else could we do with the reading lesson? So there are some different ideas we can use. We could do timed reading, for example. So we can set a timer for 1 minute. We can ask our students to read individually in their heads and see how far through the passage they get. Then at the end of that, we ask them to read again, but this time try and get further. And then one final time, try and get further on in the passage. Now, it's a little bit of a strange activity because it's different to what we normally think of as a reading exercise, isn't it? We normally think of reading exercises as read the text, answer the questions, or read the text, find the information. But this is actually a really worthwhile activity for our students. It's engaging because there is an element of competition. It's getting students to compete against themselves. Can they get further on in the passage? Can they read more quickly each time? It increases their automaticity when it comes to reading. And in time, it will help students become more fluent readers. So that's an easy activity that we can do with reading. That's a little bit different. Also, don't be afraid to change things around. If you have an activity in the course book that you want to use, but you don't necessarily want to use it how and when it is used. So in the course book here, you've got the reading text, and then afterwards you've got this true or false activity. But why not do it a bit differently and use the true or false activity before the students read? This helps the students predict what they're going to read about. It gives them a little bit more support. If you've got weaker students in your class and you want them to make some predictions before reading, if you've got stronger students and you just want to get them to come up with some ideas themselves based on the title of the text or based on the picture, that's great. But if you've got students who are a little bit weaker and you want to give them a bit more help about making predictions before they read and check their answers, doing the true or false activity first and then reading to check is a good idea.